Buddy, this is the Farmington Town Board meeting on Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. First thing on the order is the Pledge of Allegiance. Aaron, would you lead us? Yeah.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Aaron. We do not have any public hearings tonight. So next thing on the agenda is approval of the minutes for our June 10th Town Board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
With my Mike, second by Steve. Any corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Privilege of the floor or public concerns? Anybody in the room or online? Privilege of the floor or public concerns? Okay, hearing none. Reports of standing committees, Public Works.
Yeah, we met yesterday morning at our usual time, kind of from the water treatment plant. The storms last week, they did have a few issues. We had one transformer that was damaged, one control panel in one of the buildings that has been repaired. Also had some issues at one of the construction sites for PS5 with the excessive water. Been working on equipment in the aeration pond. They're actually rebuilding one of them right now. Been able to save some money by finding some local aftermarket parts. Also had a discussion about possibly changing how they run, so they're not running 24/7 when they don't need to be, which obviously saves some electrical costs and also some wear and tear on the equipment. Sludge ongoing nonstop. They've been pressing 3 to 4 days a week and scheduling the hauling with the landfills accordingly. They had to work on an issue at pump station 21, ended up just being the battery they had to replace. Been working on clearance and pumps at several pump stations. Maintenance has been ongoing, and now the addition with obviously grass growing. They've been mowing pump stations, trimming, weed control. Greasing motors, just again, ongoing maintenance items. Did have some high alarms with the heavy rains and possibly identifying a couple places that we may do some smoke testing to see if we have some I&I in the system. Had a graffiti issue over at PS14 and they've been able to correct that. And at a second station as well. Able to match some brick, those issues, it was a brick colored facade and they were able to get over that graffiti and make that look nice again. We've done some concrete pours that they had to repair from water main breaks. Again, they've been doing some string trimming on fire hydrants. Again, that's getting ready for painting for the season. And they had a meeting to work on and correct some issues with the GIS system. Having to do with locations of water and sewer lines. Highway and parks. Equipment maintenance, roadside mowing this time of year is ongoing. Trucks have been going back and forth. They had a couple trucks helping Victor pave. Also doing some chip seal work. Our roads were chip sealed. That was all completed on June 18th. And just like water and sewer, they had some water issues with the heavy rains last week that they were chasing. They had some shoulders wash out, driveways, and had to cut up some small trees that fell as well. Parks, obviously mowing parks and trails this time of year. Ball fields, grooming ball fields, crosswalk striping, trimming trees, and pumpkin hook tennis and basketball courts. They've been working on the contract's been resurfacing those this week. Also had some backflow testing done. Carpets have been cleaned in the town hall, court, and highway. And Doyle has been doing some testing on our alarm system. Got it.
Thank you, Steve. On operations?
Yeah, there are 5 resolutions on tonight's agenda. Discuss those as they come up. Town engineers are completing their work on chapter 159, which is water rules and regulations. Hopefully have that, at the next meeting for a public hearing to be scheduled. Staff's also working on updates to, chapter 144 land subdivision. We'll have that some point, this, maybe by the end of the summer. And also working on chapter 165, zoning laws. That's, looking to bring that forward sometime in August. Last meeting, we did, adopt the town of Farmington Parks and Rec master plan. That's been posted on the website. The incentive zoning project, the former Whitestone project, they're at 332 and 41. After their presentation at the last meeting, they said they're gonna consider making some changes, and they've now tentatively are naming it Farmington Meadows. The Farmington Market Center, which is the Tops Plaza, they'll be making another presentation to the town board at the August 8th meeting. I've lost track. This is maybe the 4th or 5th time that they've done this now. See if anything actually, we'll see if anything actually happens after that one. Everything else will be posted on the website, and then the Environmental Conservation Board is continuing to work on the open space index. I think they postponed a meeting. They should be having one in July and should be getting an update to the board after that.
Thanks, Nate. Reports of other town officials, supervisor, just want to remind everybody our July 3rd fireworks over here at the town park. We have multiple food trucks, music, free parking, and fireworks at dusk. And Farmington Chamber of Commerce has donated a sum of money to help defray the cost of the fireworks, and that is greatly appreciated by this board.
Don't wait till the last minute to get there, because we've been.
You know, a couple of years ago, we had to shut the traffic off. We were full. Last year? Yeah. So, so far the weather looks okay for that. Farmington Fire Association, Station 2. Dan, Ron and I met with members of the fire department and MRB to discuss their Station 2 progress of the design of a new building. We should have a better idea of cost estimates by October. Farmington Chamber, this afternoon, Ron and I were at a meeting at Lions National Bank. Michael Stapleton Jr. From Thompson Health, President and CEO, made a presentation on the area growth, especially the Farmington Victor area, and talked about their future plans for the hospital because of the growth. My monthly EMS safety meeting is tomorrow in Victor. We meet with the 3 local fire departments and Victor Farmington Ambulance Corps. Obviously Supervisor Mayor chairs that. And every once in a while, we have Ontario County EMS representatives. My 2 meetings at the county are next Wednesday afternoon, government operations and insurance, and ways and means. And just a note for the town board, Janine and I have tentatively scheduled our 6-month finance review for 4 p.m. on Wednesday, July 15th. Subject to July 15th. Subject to Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Excuse me. It might be a Tuesday.
I think it is.
Maybe off by a day. Tuesday. 4 o'clock, yeah. Thank you. Highway and Parks.
Yeah, not much more to report from what Steve had. The stripers are in town striping roads today, for the first round. I wasn't able to catch them up here and the corner, so I got them to stripe Allen Padgham Road and
It's beautiful.
north, so that was good. I didn't put it in the first round. I wasn't sure we'd get it paved in time for the stripers, but so I'm glad I caught them today, and so that's done. So yeah, they look good. Yesterday, we had a couple of sidewalk flags on Mertensia Road heaved from the heat and buckle, so we're gonna have to address those. And they did take care of, they milled some up on Stonefield. We had some potholes up there, so they're up there today, milled that out and patched those back in. I am gonna put that in the budget for next year to be milled and filled. That will take care of Stonefield. About all I have.
All right, thanks. Town clerk?
Today I had a county clerk association luncheon meeting at the former town of Hopewell Town Clerk's house, and that went very well. Also, I am gonna be picking up a directional sign that's gonna be located out front here of the building, directing people to go to the building department and assessors one way and the supervisor's office, town clerk's another way. Hopefully that will alleviate a lot of the foot traffic coming in the front door. That's coming from Ewing's.
Warren Sewer?
Yeah, as Steve mentioned, the heavy rain on the 18th caused some issues for us. There were some good results that were yielded by our sewer flow meters. Gave us a couple of areas to follow up on, track down some extraneous water getting into our sewers. It's a problem that we're continuously investigating. A couple of our small service area pump stations had some problems that night, again, which require us to follow up, as Steve mentioned, probably with some smoke testing. The guys have been out performing all of our annual maintenance on our pressure reducing vaults around the water system. We've been beginning to work on 2026 budgeting and 5-year capital plans. We got a good bid yesterday at our bid opening for the Route 332 water main replacement. Be viewing contractor qualifications and hopefully awarding. And we are obtaining some quotes for the sealing of all the pump station driveways. We have 26 pump stations that have asphalt driveways that need sealing. That's it.
Okay, building and zoning.
Not a ton to report on. We did have Lexi submit her 2-week notice so she can follow her dream that popped up. So we will have that position open in the near future. We had 2 fire calls. One was actually at the last town board meeting. I responded into the village of Victor to cover a call for them. And then we had 1 call due to the heavy rains at the Woodland Manor Apartments for a building that flooded. Aside from that, ongoing court case that we're still working with the property owner on. So that should hopefully be in front of all of you guys. I think the next meeting is when I think it's next meeting. Obviously, we're into the iWork software program at this point. So far, it's going relatively well. There's been a few hiccups along the way, trying to get some older residents that the computer side is a little more difficult, and we've made some adjustments with that. It's gone well having the computer out in front of our office to be able to walk them through things and help with that. The online payments has been going fairly well, and those come in overnight, so we can issue permits as soon as we come in the next day. So no crazy issues with that software at this point. That's all I have.
Thanks, planning board.
Yes, next meeting, July 2nd, we have a Gerlach final 2-lot subdivision plat for that one. That's on Shortsville Road. Shortsville Road. We have a Brader's final site plan for a dwelling and a 2-car garage. That is Turner Road, and then we all have a letter of credit, as well as we get to discuss chapter 144. That's about it.
Thanks, Ed. Director of Planning and Development, Ron.
Okay, well, first of all, I'd like to recognize the members of the Environmental Conservation Board who last Saturday morning did their clean sweep of 332. And they reported Monday night that surprisingly, they picked up, there was less trash out there for the first time in some time. So that's a good sign. The Farmington Meadows project, I talked with the engineer. They're not using the design that they showed at the meeting on the 10th for the quote townhouse apartment buildings. And they're going back to a standard townhouse design, which means they're gonna lose density. And I told Jess, keep going, you're doing good so far. But we'll hear more from them in the near future. The open space index is still being worked on by the Conservation Board. We should hopefully have that next month. As reported, the Planning Board and East Environmental Conservation Board are both reviewing Chapter 144. The Park and Recreation Master Plan will be put on the town website tomorrow. The town operations report was posted today. I'm continuing to work on a new chapter of the town code addressing backyard burials. And that's it.
All righty, thank you. Bill, town engineers.
All right, most of my updates have been discussed so far, so there was also a pre-con today for Cranberry Drive. I believe we've got a schedule, so we'll be reviewing that and getting back with the town on that. So were you there? Everything go okay?
Yep.
Yeah. And then I do still also have on my list for setting up some visitations to various parks departments. So I didn't forget, but we're working on it. So I'll need some availability probably pretty soon, so we can schedule that. So after, you know, I say I'll need to know what the availability is pretty soon. Knowing it's probably not going to be very soon, but so that's all I got.
Thanks, Bill.
Yep.
Anna, Assessor.
I thought I'd give almost a year to do the reveal, so I thought I'd give a report on how it all went. So I started working on this project in June of 2024 and completed the valuation portion, which included all commercial, residential, agricultural, and vacant land parcels in the town in March. So it was about a 9-month process. The 2024 equalization rate was 94, and had we not done this reval, it probably would have been anywhere between 85 and 87%. That's how hot the market still is. We received notification that the project was a success by New York State Department of Taxation and Finance, and we got the 100%. Prior to the informal meetings after valuation was done in March, the overall roll went up 24.06%. After all the informal meetings in grievance day, the final current overall increase of the town is now 23.48%. So there was a drop between the meetings I did in grievance. Preliminary notices were sent out in April, and between phone calls, emails, and in-person meetings, there was at least 500 people, residents that I met with, talked to on the phone, or sent emails to. I did a little too long. I got behind because I wanted to avoid days and days of grievance, so I did it till the week before grievance day. Next time I won't do it that long. It was very stressful at the end. I want to say Carolyn did an absolutely amazing job. This obviously was her first one. She was great with the residents. She kept me on task. She just did an amazing job, and I just wanted to make sure that got noted. After the tentative roll was filed, which was May 1st, I can't make any changes, so I have to do stipulations up until grievance day. I was still meeting with people, and if for some reason I change the assessment, I have to do a stipulation. The Board of Assessment Review has to ratify the stipulation, so it's pretty much a done deal. But I did 54 of those, and I decreased about 3.5 million in that 26-day time frame. And but half of that was commercial properties who gave me like income and expense stuff they didn't give me before. So about half of that, 45% was commercial property. Grievance day was something. We started at 2, we had break times in there, we were meeting with people every 10 minutes. We didn't get a single break. Not even to go to the restroom. It was constant people walking in. And we went right up to 8 o'clock, and the minute 8 o'clock hit, Carolyn was at the door to lock it. There was somebody that came in at 7:58 and just made it in. So we had several walk-ins, and there were a total of 61 applications submitted that day. The Board of Assessment Review lowered about 30 of those 61. They decreased the roll roughly 2.119, and 23% of that was commercial properties, the rest was residential. The final roll will be filed July 1st, and then it's certiorari's, which I have a feeling are gonna be more than usual. And because we got a lot more commercial grievances in this year than in the past. So that will be something we'll discuss as the lawsuits come in. And I don't think small claims will be too bad. Out of the 600 people or 500 plus all the grievance, everyone keeps telling me the market's decreasing. I don't know where they're getting that. Because I had to stop this reval as of July 1, 2024. So these were all sales up to July 1st, 2024. The next reval will be after that. We're getting sales in, obviously. We're up to like April right now. And I'm low on 90%. The market is not slowing down. So even though I just did this reval and you sales from July 2022 to July 2024, I'm still low, which is telling me the market is not. Houses are being listed. I'm on the MLS every day. They're lasting a week, 2 weeks, but they're still 9 times out of 10 going over and above listing price. The market is not slowing down. That being said, I anticipate doing another reval in 2027.
I think they may be getting that from national TV.
I don't know where they're getting it from.
On television all the time.
Yeah.
Because it shows it's starting to slow down. Next week, that's where they're getting it
Yeah.
from.
And I always told people, my door's open, I'll get you the sales anytime you want. You know, just let me know. And overall, it went pretty well. We had 1 or 2 yellers at grievance, but it wasn't bad. So it was something. It's over.
Yeah, so just for the record, I want to restate what you said. Of the sales you watched or see in the last 6 months, 90% of that sale price is already over your 2025 assessed value.
That is correct.
We saw it down in the courthouse for sale, and had to be 40, 50 people go through that house. Lord knows what it got sold for.
I just did it.
Yeah, yeah. Great, thanks, Donna.
You're welcome.
Nobody historian tonight, no recreation, no advisory. So our next on the agenda, we have communications around 5. So the reports and minutes on 5. And we'll go to resolution. First one is confirming resolution operating town supervisor to sign a proposal for Insole Inc. For the performing of full-time interior exterior coating inspection services for the Rickard Road tank project at a cost not to exceed $70,000.
So
Second. Motion by Nate, second by Ron. Any questions on that? This is if you drive by, I don't know if the curtain's up yet, but we had a picture in this week's report of the change down sides of the tent and then, or just down the sides of the tank where the 10-inch will go up and then, sandblast inside that and then paint inside that. So it'll be probably a 2-3 month process. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This resolution waiving the town park reservation fee for Farmington Cub Scout Pack 50 recruitment event. And the pack meeting they want to hold on Friday, February 25th, 2025.
So. September.
Did I say
February. September 5th.
September 5th, 2025?
So.
Motion by Mike, second by Ron. Nothing, straighten that, all that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Read the resolution authorizing the budget amendment for the highway fund to reflect the 2025-2026 state aid for our consolidated local street and highway improvement program, commonly known as CHIPS funding, pave New York, winter recovery, and pave our potholes. So,
Second.
motion by Steve, second by Mike. And it's always nice to get more money from the New York state than we were expecting. Approximately $27,000 more. All in favor?
Aye.
Whereas resolution to establish a reserve for the 2025 DOT state aid funds.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mike. Mike, and second by Nate. Again, in the June timeframe, the town always gets our video lottery terminal money. And then Janine and I have put this into a CD. All in favor?
Aye.
I is a resolution authorizing a budget amendment for the general and leaning funds. So, second. Motion by Steve, second by Ron. Total of $3,500. All in favor?
Aye.
Six, confirming resolution approving a change order PCC 0 6, labeled PCO 17 for the primary contractor here at the town hall renovation project.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Nate, second by Steve. And this is to get the installation of the converter for the electric here in the building, the new electric for the HVAC downstairs. All in favor?
Aye.
Seven is a resolution of support authorizing the town of Farmington 2025 application to New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation under the State Environmental Protection Fund project for park planning for the Farmington Town Park expansion project.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mike, second by Ron. Any questions on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Eight is resolution classifying the Farmington Town Park expansion project mentioned above as a type 2 action for the submission as part of our 2025 consolidated funding application to the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation Environment Protection Fund project for park planning. So,
Second.
motion by Steve, second by Mike. Any questions there? All in favor?
Aye.
Nine is resolution of support and authorization for the town of Farmington 2025 non-agricultural, non-point source stormwater retrofit grant.
So moved.
Second. By Nate, second by Ron. Again, we're another grant we're trying to go forward here. Any questions on that? All in favor?
Aye.
10 is a resolution classifying the town 2025 consolidated funding application for a non-agricultural, non-point source stormwater retrofit planning grant project under New York State Department of Environmental Conservation as a type 2 action under the state's environmental quality review regulations. So
Second.
motion by Steve, second by Mike. See, this is the resolution classifying the previous one. All in favor?
Aye.
11, Town of Farmington resolution of support and authorization of the Town of Farmington 2025 non-agriculture non-point source MS4 stormwater mapping grant.
So moved.
Motion by Mike, second by Nate. And the reason we're having these grant applications in New York State has added additional requirements for our town and others. And we're trying to get some funding on the planning side, on the implementation side, depending on these resolutions, to help pay for some of the costs instead of, a lot of it would come out of the drainage district that's only and, located west, so trying to help. Some of them are 10% matches, some of them are 50% matches. All in favor?
Aye.
12 is a resolution classifying the town's 2025 consolidated funding application for a non-agricultural, non-point source MS4 stormwater program matching grant under the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation as a type 2 action under the state environmental quality review regulations. Oh,
Second.
looking around, second to see. Again, this type 2 action is relates to the previous resolution. Any comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 13, confirming resolution authorizing the town supervisor to sign a settlement agreement and release between Plantis I. Gordon Corporation and the town of Farmington and town of Farmington Water and Sewer Department.
Second.
Motion by Nick, second by Mike. For a total dollar amount of $75,000. All in favor?
Aye.
14 is a resolution authorizing the water and sewer superintendent to purchase intake fans for the wastewater treatment plant at a cost not to exceed $7,500.
Second.
Ron, second by Mike. Again, there was three quotes tried to get it for this project, and Aaron was able to get two. All in favor?
Aye.
Item 15 is the abstract number 12, we pay our bills. General fund, $92,266,094. Highway fund, $31,820.60. Cranberry Drive water line, $1,750. Cranberry Drive road project, $1,750. Route 32296 water line, $975. Sidewalk capital project, $303.34. Water tank repair, $151,328.58. Storm drainage, $4,516.28. Lighting district, $1,710.51. Sewer district, $91,380.80. Water district, $57,213.22. Payroll deductions, $9,607.30. For a total abstract, $444,622.77. Motion on a second, please.
So moved.
Second. Motion by Mike, second by Steve. Any corrections, mentions? All in favor?
Aye.
Right. All right, thank you. I don't have it on the agenda, but also we always ask at the end if there's any other comments, questions, or concerns to be brought to the town board. Any other questions or concerns at this time for the town board? All right, one last thing, we did have a primary yesterday and we had a highway department election. Congratulations to Sean Murphy, he's had by 7 votes, and the final outcome will probably be next week by the Board of Elections when they count any write-in votes, but normally they trend the same way as the way the actual vote is. Congratulations. Anything else, Seth? Board? There's a motion on the room. So.
Second.
Second, Nate, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.